And what is today, young man?
Right.
Is today your birthday? Someone doesn't understand that it's his birthday and that means it's a special day. He thinks we're saying who knows what. He's grumpy at me every time I say it. But it is your birthday and you're 2 years old. We'll be back after we wake up a little bit. Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Someone is a little more awake now. If you haven't been around, this is Elisha, and today he turns 2 years old. Yay! We know that his nose looks a little rough. So last week he was playing on his little slide, like at the driveway, because the grass had just been mowed or something like that. It was too wet. The ground was really, really wet. So we had the thing in the driveway. He fell, and the only thing that he hit was his nose. He didn't hit it very hard. But then, anytime it's runny or boogery, it's hard to wipe because it's sore. So it looks a little atrocious today. We do know that.
Did you know boogery is a word?
Yeah, I make up words on this channel. It's okay. Boogery. It's like a new dictionary. So anyway, today is a Monday. We have a busy day because Mondays are always busy for us. We spend Sunday just resting, and so we usually have more dishes and more laundry and stuff on Monday, and some of that is extra today because we need to make laundry soap before we can wash the laundry. That type of stuff. And then this afternoon we have to go to Portland, which is an hour and 45 minutes away from us, because Josiah, who's 13, needs a doctor's appointment.
I can't even see you. The light is bright over there.
Josiah has a VNS. If you have not been around, it gives electricity to his brain, and we need to have that turned up today. So we have that appointment today. But we're going to do a day in the life of Elisha. We haven't done a day in life in a while, and we usually do it for people's birthdays. So that's what you're going to see. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, since we saw you last, it's been busy. So it's 7:45. The guinea pig cage got cleaned, like new bedding and all of that stuff. And we learned more about cleaning guinea pig cages because it was the first time we've done it. Right? Then, what we eating? What's this? Granola? Yeah, we had this at church breakfast yesterday. And he was sitting there going, Nola, Nola, Nola. Do you like Nola? Is it your favorite? We also got some dishes washed, some laundry soap made, a load of laundry going. Yeah, we've been busy. But we'll be back in a little bit with other stuff. What?
What's next on the agenda? Maybe some chores and then Bible, I think.
That's on the agenda, right? We'll see you in a bit.
We'll be back.
Say bye-bye.
Words, wonderful words. Wonderful words of thine, beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of thine.
When Jesus had said these things, he departed and hid himself from them.
Hit himself.
Their heart and turned, and I would heal them.
And said, "Whoever believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me.
If anyone hears my words and does not keep them, I do not judge him, for I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world."
Okay, so then we went outside and we cut the audio here because the kids were all running around and playing. But sometimes it's just important to watch what your kids are interested in. You can see that he goes from one activity to another. And I think sometimes we try to keep a child's attention on something for too long. When little kids just have short attention spans, and it's okay that they want to jump from one thing to another to another. There are times to work on that attention span, like he sits quietly at church, but there's also times to just let them play. You'll see here he sees the frog bucket. That doesn't actually have a frog in it. It was put away. And now he's going to grab this rope. Don't always expect your kids to play with toys in the way that they're meant to be played with. That is a broken remote control car. Like the remote control part doesn't work anymore. The car still works. And they have the greatest time just pulling this thing around and making up games with it. So I think sometimes we are too quick to tell the kids, no, you need to play with it this way. And he was having fun. Here he goes over to swing and he's asking Abigail to swing with him. Watching the interactions between kids can be really amazing. because they have certain ones that they will call to play this game with or call to do this thing because they just enjoy the company of that sibling for doing that one particular thing for whatever reason. You'll see in a minute he also goes and gets a flower for me. Here we are. And he throws it to me. But that's what he's been doing a lot lately is we have a bunch of dandelions. And so he gets to pick flowers and bring them to mommy as much as he wants because there's a lot of them out there. What you eating? Eggs. That's what you wanted for lunch, right? Okay, so we had eggs with some pork sausage. It's pork with Italian flavors on it. Cheese and potato wedges, I guess you'd call them. He also has a little bit of pasta on his plate because we had cold pasta. If you've been around here, you know that for some reason, our 4-year-old does not like potatoes. Don't know why. So we usually let him have something cold that's in the fridge. So whether that be cold rice or cold pasta, he'd rather have that. And then the baby saw it, so he wanted that too, right? Is this what you wanted for lunch? Eggs? And we are not eating his birthday cake today. You might notice that as we go through the whole video. We're not doing his birthday cake today because he doesn't really care what kind of cake. He just likes cake. My mom had paid Naomi to make a cake for an outing she went on this weekend. So today's Monday. She went away with her friends on Saturday and Sunday. She brought home leftover cake from the cake that Naomi had made. And it's a really yummy cake. So when she got home last night, we ate the rest of the cake as his birthday cake. You want some salt? We ate, whoop, that came out really fast. We ate the rest of the cake as his birthday cake. So we did the birthday thing last night. As a 2-year-old, he doesn't really care what day it is. You'll see in a little bit, we're going to our big city, Portland, for a doctor's appointment today. And we're gonna pick up a Sam's Club order. And that's gonna be our supper tonight, is I bought treats for the car. Do you want treats for the car? Like yogurt? Will that be yummy? So you'll see as we go. But this was our lunch today. Do you say bye?
Ready to go in and see a really, really big globe? Yeah, let's go see it.
Let's go find the other side of the video. Can you find it? Over here? You want to walk? Show us. Tell us, where is it? Go in the Amazon. And then it all goes blue. And then, yeah, it goes to the ocean. Even though it comes from all the way across the country. You want to see? Here, you stand up. Okay, so we're back again. Last thing we were at the big earth thing called Eartha. It's really windy out here. We are at Josiah's doctor's appointment, and there's this place that has like a sidewalk. He's saying hi to Naomi. He's walking over here. A place that has a sidewalk in a big round circle, so the kids like to run on it.
It's super windy.
Since we saw you last time, we stopped to see my brother. He's still in the hospital, so you guys can keep praying. But he was actually, like, we were chatting. He's telling me about how his animals are doing at home and all of that stuff, and he's ready to get out of there. They're not quite ready for him to get out of there, but he's ready to get out of there. And then we also stopped at Sam's Club and picked up a pickup order. It is now like almost 4. We will go into his appointment soon. They're all going to run around, and when our appointment's almost done, they'll all come in and use the bathroom, and then we have a snacky supper on the way home. Blue chairs. Blue chairs. Do you like those little chairs? Doesn't want to focus, right? Then we have pretty pictures of Maine animals.
Hey, Mama.
What?
And blue chairs.
Blue chairs.
Oh, no.
Are you silly?
Chairs.
You got a picture? Did you make that for the doctor? Yep, last day with our doctor because she's moving, right? So you made a picture. Very cool. Are you still talking about the blue chairs? Hear how loud it is? Okay, so explanations from when we saw you last.
Oh, we shut the camera off because Josiah fell.
Right,
Yes,
so
sorry.
we ended the video because Josiah fell. As we were at the doctor's office, they were running around that thing, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw him fall. So we turned the camera off real quick. He's okay, but he's scratched up. So if you've been around, Josiah has his left hand is affected by CP. He doesn't use it very much. So his right hand does everything, and he now has a big gouge in the middle of his hand. Then you might see a clip of him running around the doctor's office because he went up to the appointment with me for Josiah to get his VNS. That was good. We had a student, like a student nurse. I don't know her exact title, but she came and she did all the blood pressures and everything and got to learn more about his VNS, which was good. We got to say bye to the doctor who's leaving. Toddlers love tape. You need to make sure you give them pieces big enough that they don't eat them. The toddlers love tape. Okay, so then we got back in the car. We had supper. Do you remember what we had for supper? Ice cream, which is yogurt. He called it ice cream, right? We had Go-Gurts. We had string cheese. We had grapes. And we had potato chips, which are all like treat foods. It's not foods we don't eat. It's just foods we don't eat very often. So those were our treat foods tonight.
We're stuck in the van for this many hours. We're going to have some
Exactly.
easy food.
So we did all that. Oh, and yeah, I think I said that we stopped and saw my brother and then we went to Stanford. Okay, so did all that before the appointment. Then we got home, ran people through getting pajamas on. Right after we had finished getting pajamas on, we were about ready to pray. This guy fell over by the guinea pig cage, which we'll introduce you to the guinea pig soon. But can I put your head up? He scraped up his neck. So that was a self-injury. I don't know.
Just for
20 minutes
being
ago.
two.
He needed something on his second birthday. So
Good job, birthday boy.
we put on music for a few minutes so I could put a cold cloth on his neck. And now he's acting like he's all better. I think it knocked the wind out of him too, which was kind of scary. Other things about this little boy. I had someone mention in a video that he nurses still. And yes, he nurses still. And since I'm the one feeding him and he's the one eating and it doesn't affect anyone else, I'm going to do that as long as I want to. The actual worldwide age of nursing is 4. We live in a country where a lot of people don't nurse out of convenience. I'm not saying that it's totally wrong for someone to give their baby formula. That is not what I'm saying. But I do know that there was predatory practices specifically in Africa where companies would come in and tell moms, formula is better for your baby. This is what you need to give your baby. People start mixing the formula with the dirty water they have and babies were dying. And now mom's milk supply has totally dried up because milk supply is a supply and demand. If you want to feed your baby, you need to keep nursing them so that they keep taking milk and your body keeps realizing it needs to do milk. I feel like my glasses are glaring and you're trying to get past that.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, this is your last piece of tape, okay? And so,
One more.
I think a lot of people started using formula for the wrong reasons. God had made it for moms to nurse their babies, and there's lots of special bonding that happens. Not that you can't bond with your baby if you don't nurse, but there is a lot of special bonding that happens. He is very securely bonded, where we were out in the driveway the other day. He's running all around the yard. He would come up and just check in, want a hug from mommy, and then he'd get back down and he'd go running and playing. He's securely bonded. He's not overly attached or anything like that. He's still getting a lot of nutrition from nursing because breast milk doesn't stop giving vitamins and minerals when you're a certain age or baby's a certain age or anything like that. They're still getting vitamins and minerals. So just recently we had a little cold. Hold on a second. Naomi, he had tape in his hand. Don't let him put it in the cage. So we had a little cold going through the house. So my body makes antibodies for the baby to be helped healed through that. So that's all still good whether you're nursing at 2 or 4 or 6. It's a decision you have to make based on your baby's needs. Josiah couldn't take food from a bottle or a table food because of his CP. So he nursed exclusively for longer than I've nursed any other baby. I also had Virginia, who started self-weaning at 9 months old. So each baby's going to be different. Maybe what you're doing is going to be different. Maybe you have to be out of the house certain days of the week, and so you need to do something different with that. And maybe it's a decision your husband has chosen that you're going to not nurse at this time or not nurse overnight or whatever. Those are decisions to make within your own family. But that's decisions to make within your own family, but not decisions to let culture outside your family rule, because American culture is not pro breastfeeding. There are some people who are pro breastfeeding, but the American culture itself is not pro breastfeeding, and it is not for keeping your children close and secure. We actually had somebody the other day who mentioned taking some of our children to do an activity, and that's a very American mindset too, of like splitting up the family all the time to do things instead of keeping the family together. We live in this culture where kids need to be with other kids their same age. Kids need to be away from their parents, all of that stuff, which is not biblical. It's just how Americans work. And it's
The last thing your average 5-year-old needs is another 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they're actually related to one another.
I don't know if you know any. I have a 4-year-old right now and a 6-year-old. I don't know if you know 4-year-olds and 6-year-olds, but they don't usually pick the best activities to do if they are left on their own for long periods of time. Just saying. Mm-hmm. And so, it's funny, we were reading, this just reminded me of it, and it really has nothing to do with that, but I'm going to say it anyway. We were doing our Bible study this morning, and we are in, I don't know where we were, John 12. And it was talking about the people believed in Jesus, but if they were to say anything, they were going to get kicked out of the synagogue. Not they were going to get killed, not they were going to be stoned, not that they were going to lose their job. They would be kicked out of the synagogue. And because they feared man more than God, and because they wanted the glory that men gave them more than God, they did the thing that culture told them to do, their culture, which was to say, no, Jesus isn't the guy we're looking for, even though everything pointed towards Jesus being the Messiah they were looking for. And they wanted to look okay in the eyes of everybody around them, instead of saying, yes, Jesus is worth it. So that has nothing to do with breastfeeding or not breastfeeding and whether you're actually saved. That's not what I'm talking about. It just reminded me, like, we do so many things in our culture because we want to look normal to the people around us.
But when you just apologize 3 times for breastfeeding while talking about the goodness of breastfeeding, because culture has taught you that breastfeeding is something that you have to defend yourself against.
You shouldn't have to.
Well, I don't mean you.
You shouldn't have to say you're sorry, but because I have a public channel, I feel like I have to give caveats for everything, because I do not I think the Bible teaches that divorce is wrong. But I do not believe a woman should stay and get beat up. But I have to put this like caveat to say, God says divorce is wrong, but in this situation or this situation or this situation, then the woman should protect herself. I shouldn't have to say that. I should be able to say the Bible says divorce is wrong. The Bible also says that hurting somebody else is wrong. And so, like, those are 2 separate categories. Divorce is wrong and hurting someone else is wrong. And how does that work in this situation? We can talk about that. But there's so many times that someone will say, breastfeeding is so good for mom and baby. And there is science to back that up. But if I were to just say breastfeeding is so good for mom and baby, you don't know how many comments would come on the video that would say, but you don't understand. In my situation, baby was in the NICU and I couldn't feed them. Okay, I'm not talking about you. But can we admit that there is an ideal? And maybe that ideal doesn't always happen. It is ideal that a husband goes out and works to support his family. But that doesn't happen in our house, and it's no fault of Mark's. But I can still say that is ideal. I wish Mark could get a job and leave the house 40 hours a week.
So does Mark.
That would be great.
I love working.
So I can still say that that's the ideal. I can say that it is ideal that a child doesn't have seizures that you have to watch every move that they make. That's ideal. I wish we could say that
it's
that
not
happens,
our reality,
but it's not reality for our family.
We get it.
So just because someone says something, don't take it as that person is dissing me or whatever. I mean, maybe you just had the discussion and your friend got on her YouTube channel and she was like, hey, people should do this. But I'm personally not talking about any of my friends when I'm saying these things. Hi, we're not going to have milk right now, but I will after I turn the camera off, okay? Yeah, we will. So our culture has told us we need to apologize for saying something that might not be the truth in someone else's life. But if it's the truth, it's the truth. It might look different because of bad circumstances. A mom and a dad together should raise a child.
Yep.
Are there times that can't happen because dad passes away, or mom it gets really sick and she's stuck in the hospital, or a child gets abused and the state comes in and takes the kids away? Yeah, things happen. But we can still say ideal. Mom and dad have a child together because they are in a committed relationship called marriage, that they have that child together. That's ideal. That's ideal. And I don't think anyone can actually fight that it's not ideal unless you maybe throw out the Bible and put in just human secularism. But since the Bible is the only truth anyway, we can't just throw that out. And by the way, so if you've ever watched
This video went from day in the life very quickly downhill.
So I think it's Ray Comfort. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's somebody who talks about you go into a fight. Oh, it might be Ken Ham. You go into a fight of, let's say, evolution versus creation.
Mm-hmm.
And the evolutionist says, okay, prove creation to me without your Bible. And you're like, oh, okay, let me put my Bible down and now I'll prove it. No, the Bible is your sword. It talks about being a sword. So you're like, oh yes, we're in a sword fight. Let me put my sword down. Yes, okay. Oh, you just got me. Well, yeah, because you put your sword down. That was kind of dumb. Okay, so anyway, we're back to the baby. He's cute. So you watch this channel because my mind goes crazy. And if my friend Lola is watching this channel, I totally understand what your video meant this morning with the crazy mind. Okay, so how old are you? Do you know? No, you don't know how old you are. You're 2. Yeah, who's this? Daddy? What's my name? No, what's my name? Mommy. What's your name?
Justice.
No, your name is not Justice. Do you love Justice? Yeah? Justice is your nephew. Can you say nephew? And you're the uncle. You're the uncle.
Yep.
No, you're...
Uncle.
Naomi's not the uncle.
I'm the aunt.
He's like, what?
They call the girls something different.
Who's-
And I'm grandpa.
Hey, who's that over there?
Daddy.
No, who's that?
Me.
Samuel. He was being funny today at the doctor's office. I don't think I got it on video. But we were like, who's this? To Josiah. And he was on purpose calling him every other name. Virginia. Wayland. Right? Yeah. And he really likes cars right now. And so he points out cars. Like we went someplace today. The big Earth globe thing you'll see. We went there and he saw a car and he's like, Grandma's. And it's not actually Grandma's car, but it looked like Grandma's car.
It's probably a 24 Subaru something or other. Looks an
Right?
awful lot like Grandma's.
Does it look like Grandma's car? But now Grandma is driving a rental car because Grandma hit 2 deer the other day and her car's in the shop for a month. So she's now in a different car. So that's confusing too, huh? What? What? You want to show Daddy out the window? Yeah, show him what's out there.
What are we looking at, Bubby?
Mama.
Are you
Grandma?
looking at Grandma? Hey,
She's still in Portland.
there's no birdies at the bird feeder, Bubby.
So, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna look at Justice now. Hey, Elisha. Elisha, okay, I gotta take these back off because I got a big smear on them.
Uh-oh.
Listen, what's your favorite food? What's your,
That foot? Apple. That was it?
do you like apples? Did we get guinea pigs the other day? What do you do with guinea pigs? Pet them, that's right. We had to teach him to say pet them because when we used to, before we got the guinea pigs, we would talk about guinea pigs. We'd say, what do you do with guinea pigs? And he'd go, "Nom, nom, 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 nom." Do we eat guinea pigs? No, do you want to show Daddy the guinea pigs? What? I don't know what you're saying. You want to show Daddy?
What? Oh, the birdies. These birdies? Do you want the cards? Mommy wants the birdie cards.
Oh, okay. Do you want to show Daddy or show the people the guinea pigs?
Can we show them the guinea pigs first?
Show them the guinea pigs.
Martha.
Hello, Martha.
And Mary.
Likes to hide under there. She likes her little hidey hole. We'll have to do a separate video just telling the story of these two. These two little people. Not people. These two little critters. Alright, hey, where'd the kid go? We lost the kid.
He came to get the cards from me.
You got the cards? Can I see? Oh yeah, what are those cards?
What'd you find? Is that a birdie? And another birdie. Oh, I'll show it. This is a quick school thing, which he hasn't learned yet because he's 2. But these are called Montessori cards. They're 3-part cards. So when you download these types of cards, you get a card with the picture and the name. But then you would get another one. Can I take this one for just a second? Thanks. But then you'd also print out just the picture and just the name. So there are different ways to introduce these to the kids so that they learn that this is an evening grosbeak, but later you could put out all the pictures and they could put the word with it. Or you could put out all the words and they could put the picture with it, and depending on the age of kids. So like my 4-year-old will put out the card with the picture on it and the name, and I'll give him all the picture cards and he needs to put them together. Or I'll give the 6-year-old who's learning to read the words to match up because it goes good with word recognition. So you can find these, you look up like Montessori 3-part cards, I think is what you call them. I got these on a website a lot of years ago, so I don't even know if the website actually still has these, but this website had birds, flowers, dog breeds, tools, so like hammer, nails, that type of stuff. So anyway, the baby likes to play with these cards, and I like the fact that he's looking at real animals instead of just, I mean, we have books that are cartoons too, but was that fun? You just wanted to show everybody the flowers, I mean the birds? Yeah? What else? Oh, sorry, you wanted those out? I'm sorry. What do you want to do? I'm putting it away wrong, I guess. No.
He just wants to play, Mom.
What do you want me to do? Sometimes you just have to go with the 2-year-old leading. I can hold this. Sometimes it's neat to just sit and watch them and kind of see what their brain is doing, how they're exploring the world. Tufted titmouse. Did I get it right? Yeah, good. He's showing me the ones with words because I don't know if I'd get it right otherwise. Downy woodpecker. He likes woodpeckers. He doesn't always call them woodpeckers, but he knows what they are. Right? What's that one? That is a red-winged blackbird. Yeah? And an evening grosbeak. There was something else I was going to talk about on this that I forget what I was going to say about having 2-year-olds and cedar waxwing. Oh, I was just going to talk about some of the things that he does. He has a lot of words. He talks a lot. But there's a lot of 2-year-olds, or close to 2-year-olds, that don't talk nearly as much as him. American Crow. And every child is going to develop differently. As a mom, I've had kids that have developed on all different areas in different ways. Some are more physically fit, cedar waxwing. Some are more verbal. Some just are more like thoughtful. Like you can tell that their brain is just really thinking things, but they might not be able to get those words out. Yellow warbler. I think as a society, we forget that as moms, as dads, like as parents, we are the first line of defense on if our kids need help or not. And I think that we forget that we're the expert on our own child. We live in a society where a lot of people don't spend time with kids. I see. Like my kids do because we have lots of other kids. So they know what looks like normal development for different ages, because we have a large family and a lot of our friends have a large family. But I know people, I was in a pregnancy class for 3 of the last couple babies, tufted titmouse. And there were people in my class who had never really spent time with a baby before they had a baby. I was listening to a lady on, what's it called? Not TikTok, Instagram. I don't even have TikTok. I just couldn't think of the name. Instagram. She's a baby mama nurse. And she was saying that the large majority of men have never changed a baby's diaper. So we live in a culture where we're not around children. And so we very much fear, what if something's wrong with my child and I don't know? And I'm not talking medically, like they're breathing funny. Yeah, get them checked out. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like developmental wise. We're very afraid that we're going to be missing something about how our child's developing. But we're also we live in a society where we're really pushing our children to be the best. I mean, you have people who are pushing their kids at 3 years old to throw a baseball the right way. And so if I want my kid on the right track to go into college, or I want my kid in the right track to do this, then by 2 they must be doing, no. Like,
stress.
2-year-olds need to play and do all of that stuff. So I will just say, I spent time with kids when I was younger because I was a babysitter, because I worked in classrooms, but I did not have siblings at home. I did not have a large extended family to spend time with kids. So I knew kids because, I'll come play with you for an hour or 2 for babysitting. But when we had children, I knew when something was wrong. Sometimes I went because I wanted to just check. I don't think there's something actually wrong with this child, but I want to check. Samuel was one of those children. So Samuel...
I didn't have any problems.
Samuel, when he was like 12, 16 months, really had no want to move around much. But he was a very bright, happy kid, and none of that had to do with his issue now. Like, I know people would say, it's related, but like at that time, it's a progressive thing. It wasn't part of that. And he was just a child who liked to watch the world go by him and have his siblings carry him around. He had some older siblings.
Hey, Elisha.
Oh, there's a blue jay.
There's a blue jay out there.
Flew
Oh, did
away.
he take off?
He took away. He took off.
There was a pretty blue jay there, dude. Go find him. Is he out there? He's somewhere else out there. Nope. No birdies right now, Bubba.
So I went to the doctor with Samuel just to make sure, like, I don't think there's something actually wrong, but I just want to check because he's not on the right path, right developmental skills. And Samuel was absolutely fine. With Josiah, from the time he was born, I felt something was wrong. And you can watch other videos about Josiah. So Josiah has cerebral palsy. From the time he was born, I felt, there was something wrong. But I mentioned it to the doctor every time, and the doctor's like, it could be this. Can we put cards away and then we'll have milk? It could be this, it could be this. And there actually was something wrong. And he wasn't diagnosed till he was 10 months old. But I knew as a mom that he needed more help. So I don't know if that makes sense. But I think God has given us as parents a knowledge of our child that goes beyond what the doctors. And I love, we have some really good doctors. We actually just said goodbye to a really good doctor today because she's headed out of state to work somewhere else. So I'm not saying anything bad about doctors. But we live in a society where most people do not think that they can teach a 5, 6, 7-year-old to read.
Dude.
Here, I'll hold him. You give him to me, and I'll hold him, and we'll put him in together. They don't think they can teach a 5, 6, 7-year-old to read because society has taught us that the teachers do that at school. That's not the parents' job, and parents can't do it. You have to be a trained teacher to do it. And we've gotten to the point that we think that we don't know anything about babies or children because society has told us that we need the experts to tell us these things. And so I think that moms and dads know a lot more about their kids than they give themselves credit for. So watch your kids. Help them in their strengths. He really likes to talk, so we really encourage that through learning Bible verses, through saying Bible verses when we do our Bible time, singing songs, all of that. But he has things that he doesn't do as well, and so we practice those, like sometimes being kind to people We practice those more. So you work with your kids' strengths to help them gain, but you also work with your kids' weaknesses and just keep pushing them to be the best person that God wants them to be. Are you ready for bed? Yeah? Well, we need to say our night-nights. Can you say night-night to the camera? Because our day in the life is over as you go to bed.
Bye.
Can you say bye, guys? Can you say bye, guys?
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.